Okay, folks, it's here. The ultimate settings guide. I've been wanting to make this video for quite a long time. I've got all my ducks in a row, okay? Every little nook, every little cranny, every little every little I've ever put into Flight Sim to get the graphics to look wonderful on a lower budget card. A 3060 Ti is what we're rocking here. I'm sure if you watch this, you know that. So, I'm going to give you everything, every little tweak. So let's get into it. First off, we'll start with the basics. By the way, it's like a nice cold November. Hardly any leaves, little snow on the ground. Love that. Alright, let's go into the settings. So this is what I'm rocking now. These change as far as resolution. Sometimes I'm feeling spicy. I'll go to the one up, the 4096, but I'm looking for stability and jaw-dropping views. So this really isn't what I'm going for. This is just what I have in my system. This won't necessarily translate to everyone's, but just did a video on this. Off-screen terrain pre-caching to ultra is a very good move. It gives your PC just a lot less stutters, a lot of good stuff. Another thing I was going to make a video, I'll do it in this one. To reduce takeoff and landing stutters, object level detail, 200. 200 dimed out all the time, 200. I'm telling you, the takeoffs don't drop to 100% usage and then drop like 20 frames. It's smooth. It's nice. Try that out. These are all my settings here. If I'm flying bush, I'll turn the trees up, but that's a VRAM eater. Again, this isn't really the point of the video. I'm just showing you what I'm working with. So, the first thing I want to get into is a trick that the wonderful channel, I'll go ahead and show it to you here. Pilot Pete's Flight Sim Flight Level. Wonderful guy. He does what my dad does. He flies latitudes, which is pretty punk rock. There he is there. Hi, Peter. I'm assuming it's Peter. I don't know. But he commented on one of my videos saying some nice stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll check out his channel. Because I know a couple videos I've watched, but I went to popular, and this one caught my eye. The Sharpening. And I remember tinkering with this before, but I guess it was a new Nvidia driver. Something reset it. And by the way, he plays on laptop. And watch this video. I'll link it. And just go subscribe, please. He's at 505. Let's rush that up. But this video is insane. The graphics he gets on his laptop are insane. He just got a new one. Anyway, but this little video here introduced to me. Oh, that's for later in the video. Let me find it. Anyway, he showed me a way to get the sharpening to work without using the Nvidia panel, which I just did a video on a second ago. Go control panel. So there's a reg edit thing that I found online, because when you open up the Nvidia control panel, right? Manage 3D settings, global. There's not, at least for me, there wasn't an image sharpening option. So this will sharpen your gameplay, your image, with very good quality, not overly done like it's in other settings. It's very convincing. But that wasn't there for me, so I had to Google. I'll link to this too. There's a simple little thing you do in the reg edit, which sounds spooky, but it's really not. It's super simple. You just change 1 0 to a 1, and then it disappears in your settings here. So anyway, this is what I have set up. This is what he recommended in that video. Pilot Pete's, please go watch it. Sharpen 0.65, ignore grain 0.70 or 17. That's just what he said. That's what I like. I might mess around with more settings later, but this works perfect. So that's one. That allows me to run my DLSS. Balance is still really good with the new DLSS, which we'll get into that later. But this puts it over the top. And on top of that, this is something I never really see anybody talk about, but texture filtering quality to high performance. And I feel like every time I looked at it, I was like, that's going to make my sim look terrible. There's no point in doing that. I couldn't notice a difference. I had it on quality. Now it's on high performance. And that just, again, we're wanting overhead here, folks. I want GPU overhead like it's going out of style, if you know what I mean. I'm tired of messing with things being right on the line. I want fluid stability, dependable, beautiful, lovely, good stuff. And whenever I do want to push it, that's where this will come into play, right here. And I'll throw in a higher setting here. So I'll get at 1,000 feet, I'll go to 150 TLOD, 200, 225. So I don't want to be messing with the settings in the main screen menu. If I want to, you know what I'm saying. If I want to go bananas, I'll throw more in here. And as you see, I have 200 on the objects level of detail for the takeoffs and the landings. Combine that with the, where is it at? Ultra off-screen terrain pre-caching. Anyway, that loads everything up in a very timely manner. So that way when you come in your whatever plane, you're not dealing with BS. You're dealing with something that's preloaded, ready to go. It's just waiting there with its little arms open, you know, going, Mommy, Mommy, land on me. Ooh, you're floating, but that's okay. Land on me, Mommy. You know what I mean? So anyway, there's that. Let's see what else we got. So of course, this is a big deal. You're always going to need to use this. I much prefer this over auto FPS, although I will say the emblem for auto FPS is hilarious, and I love that. But this dynamic LED seems to work the best for me. Could be different for you, yada yada. What else? I just did a video on this if you haven't seen it. This setting in the system's displays color allows you to basically use Nvidia filters without having the overlay enabled and the filters enabled, which just give you so many issues and it's not worth it. So you can get color, take a little of the blue out of Flight Sim 24, which annoys me. And you can add sharpening with the thing I was showing you earlier in the control panel. So you basically have the Nvidia overlay enabled, but without having the issues and the annoying difficulties of that. Especially if you're in 2020, which wouldn't really make sense while you're watching this if you don't play 24, but you get my point. So there's that, and then let's go to program settings and peruse and see if there's anything that I'm forgetting here. 8x on the anisotropic filtering, I always get that word wrong, versus the 16. It could be placebo, but I think it helps a lot. And when you're on a big 4K TV like this in 4K, it's not a noticeable setting. Everything else I just kind of followed everyone's sort of guidelines on. I do like this. Background application max frame rate 30. I have two monitors, so my other monitor I've always got YouTube up while I'm in cruise, whatever. Perusing the web while I got a flight going, autopilot on. Keeps that at 30. Just a nice little cap for that. There's no need for anything more. These, I'm sure you've seen this in other videos. I'm trying to think of anything else that is, you know, not constantly talked about. I do have, I don't know how much this does. Where is it? It's in system and then performance. I have the default NVIDIA app tuning for my GPU on. I don't know how much that does, but I do have it on. I feel like it does a better job. But yeah, dude. And we're recording in 1440, which I dabbled with 1080p recording the last couple videos, and it looked horrendous. Oh, another trick from Pilot Pete, shout out Pilot Pete, is turn your frame gen off, right? Make sure this is either 1/3 or 50% refresh rate. Because this is grayed out, because it technically doesn't matter when the frame gen's on. But when you put it to 1/3 and then you turn your frame gen back on, for some reason it does something really cool with the sim and it gives you more overhead. And yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else I forgot. I had people tell me, because in that video I basically said, like, shouted out Pilot Pete's channel. I was like, go try that little 1/3 refresh rate, yada yada. So it was like, it doesn't do anything. Like, go F-wording do it. And then tell me it doesn't do anything, you stupid nerd. It's all placebo. Shut up, loser. So if you're that person and you're watching, eat farts. You know what I mean? Go F-word yourself and eat farts, you stupid loser. But, dude, I'm just recording in 1440. I'm locked at roughly 60. 79% on the GPU, just kissing 80. Oh. Nothing really with the CPUs, too crazy. It tends to do fine. Look at the texture quality we get. I've got my texture resolution set to medium in the sim, and I've got it set to ultra performance in the Nvidia control panel, and I am still extremely happy with that. Let me try to find a good way to see. Look at those textures there. That is absolutely phenomenal. I have no issues with that. Smooth head tracking. It's been great. And anytime I make a performance video, I always get the comments. I'm really going after my commenters now. Not my subscribers, but the mean commenters. People are always like, yo, try that in the A350 at London Heathrow. Wait a second. You're telling me that bigger planes at bigger airports are harder to... That can't be right. Stop the plane. You're telling me that bigger planes are harder to run? Wow, you're a genius, dude. Wow, you're so smart, dude. Freaking checkmate, my friend. I'm clapping. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, obviously, shit for brains. Sorry to cuss. I usually do not. Oh, I could have used the sorry for brains. There's your bleep. But yeah, thanks, pal. I'm aware that bigger planes are harder to run. Anyway, I'm trying to think if there's any other settings that are really helping sort of performance for me. Those are the main ones right now that are not the most obvious thing in the world. I don't want to get into stuff that every video says. I hate clicking on a performance video or this video, and it's the most basic, well-known thing in the world. You just go, thanks, buddy. Thanks for wasting my time, pal. Certain people might feel that way about this video, so hopefully that's not the case. But anyway, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, that's a pretty good time. Hopefully that will help you with your sim setup. I am over the moon with mine right now. And the overhead, let's do a stall. The power on stall. With the overhead that I'm getting, the performance I'm getting, it's wonderful. And I can drop my DLSS to performance if I'm in something big, the A350, the A380, the Phoenix, and lower my TLOD, because those are so hungry. The Phoenix, I even need to move my texture resolution to low, but it still looks great because of the modeling. But little things I still have some room to give if I'm really flying something enormous, you know. But let's get a nice... Oh, I was trying to give some rudder. Oh boy. That was a terrible stall. I couldn't decide if I wanted to stay coordinated or drop a wing, so we just kind of did both. Even the stall horn was disappointed in me. But we'll do an engine out scenario and just float the sucker to the ground. There's no way to turn that on. Mags are off. Mixture's pulled out. We got the wind running the prop right now. Look how beautiful. Oh, hold on. Can you say cheese, thumbnail, maybe, probably? Alright, that's it. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Hopefully that helps you boost your stuff.